Greetings, dear ones, and you are dear and precious. Of course, those are just words and sounds, squiggles on a piece of paper we call letters, and numbers, and all of these, and we're not any of those. And my topic is actually, I have really good news for you, and the topic is you're innocent. You're not guilty. You never have been. This whole guilt thing. Guilty that you've done this and you've done this, and humans are bad, and humans are destroying, and white people did it, and black people did it, and brown and yellow people did it, and this group did it, and we just hate, and then we have guilt, and they did it to you, and you should be ashamed of yourself because your ancestors a long time ago did this, and you're held accountable, and you're responsible, and you should feel guilty. Really? I'll tell you something. I'm on to this. And what it is self-destruction is the purpose of guilt. Here's the deal. As divine beings, parts and parcels of the divine Mother, Father, God, however we call it, source, super soul, God within, higher self. We're so sweet, kind, loving, generous, giving, compassionate, caring, talented, artistic, creative, telepathic, intuitive, knowing, all knowing at the level of our wisdom, of our being centered in the divine mind that doesn't think. Your divine mind doesn't need to think. It knows everything, you see. So you being innocent, what happens is, if you think about this, right away in school, or we teach children letters and numbers and all this, well, where did we get letters and numbers from, and words, and what they mean, and the meanings of them? Well, if we had maybe been in France, we would learn French, or if we're in Portugal, we'd learn Portuguese, or we would learn, or in India, Hindi, Bengali, or actually Sanskrit is the cool language to learn. It's the language of the spiritual world. It's not a dead language. It's more alive than could be, because it's a whole language of divinity, which is so magnificent. So in this learning the language, then we learn the books, through the books and the studies and the state-sponsored schools, institutions, organizations, all of these kind of things are giving us information all the time. And we're being fed thoughts, beliefs, concepts all the time. So what happens is, as innocent, sweet, divine beings, we are whole, pure, and divine. We can never be contaminated. That means no one has ever harmed or hurt you. In the Vedas it says that we're brighter than 10,000 suns. And it says in the Vedas, meaning knowledge, the ancient knowledge of the East, that 10,000 of us can fit on the end of a piece of hair. That's how tiny you are. And yet we're all pervading through this body in our presence and our divinity. And when we're in our right mind, we would never harm or hurt another deliberately, or even really by accident, because we be so conscious and be so centered in our heart that there's nothing missing there. So we have no envy, because why would we be jealous of anyone? Because we have the same creative manifesting powers as anyone else. But also, our focus of what we want to manifest is made by basically corporations or businesses that want us to buy this and buy that and buy and shop and get all these kind of things. So then even what we desire is been controlled or tainted by what we are told to desire, because what celebrities do or somebody else does or the neighbors have. And you see, what happens is a great being can capsulated, like taken and moved into, like molded, like a piece of clay, into a particular path or a particular caricature of oneself. And this then guilty thing is, we have full memory of everything on our time track as long as we've been in this time game. So it's all recorded. Whether you have memory of it right now or not, you could, if you wanted to, if you desired that, you can ask from your own God self, and to ask that which has been concealed from you in the unconscious is revealed to you in the conscious state. Because then in the conscious state, you can decide whether you want that or not. But in the unconscious, it's running all this information, all these beliefs, all the learning, all the everything, what to desire, what to do, who we are, how to behave, and all of this, so that we've put ourselves together, so to speak, packaged ourselves as if there's something wrong with who we really are. And then the things that we've done, we've been taught to do, taught how to react, taught to compete, taught to hate, taught to fight, taught to be greedy, taught to be miserly. We've been taught to be all these things that we're not. So that when we've done things in our time track, lifetime after life, because only one eternal lifetime, because you are life. You've changed your costume, your outfit, or your three-dimensional reality. But we've also been so, what would you say, taught to limit our awareness of even what's possible for us beyond this realm, the three-dimensional realm. This is not all there is. And even in the dimensional realms, there's many different dimensions, but who we are is beyond dimensions. We're beyond anything mathematical. We're beyond any sacred geometry. We're beyond any concept, and the mind or the intelligence. We have divine mind, divine intelligence. And we have we're divine beings, a divine body. And if we really look at what's holding us back, what's keeping us, in a sense, limited in our experience, is that we have accepted the guilt of all of the mistakes. We have taken that on to then hate ourselves, hate humans, hate the color of your body. I used to be the minister of really pretty much all African American congregation, and it was really fabulous. And one of the ladies told me one day, I could like you a lot more if your skin was darker. Really? Okay. So we do the skin color game now, and then we do this game, and then we do this game, and keep everybody out there going at its hip is slick. But what about you? And you are innocent. That does not mean you could go do anything you want to be doing, but everything we do has a ramification. What we give out comes back. It's like if I throw, this little rock in the water, bing. It made all these little ripples, and I can make another little rock, and I go throw that little rock, and bing, there it goes. It goes all that, because it creates an effect. And to think of the sound, even the word, the sound creates an effect. The thought creates an effect. And we're effect creators, but then we've let the effects bother us. And to actually, the only way we can ever be relieved of all of the guilt is to, and it's also when we say, my country is bombing this country. No, it's not my country, and I'm not bombing anybody. No, I don't have to agree to that. And that all you have, and that is all there is you and your divine God self. And we're all connected. We're already one. And we're all different. And we have to, that's why that forgiveness is actually, it's forgiving. Start giving again. It's when we have the guilt and we have the shame and we have all the mistakes, and everybody reminds us all the time, because it's guilt money. paying out guilt money, chaining yourself because you feel ashamed of yourself or whatever. Wait a minute. It's not you. That's what's missing. We've been schizophrenic. Between ourselves, fighting ourselves, our true self, and the fictitious, fabricated, virtual self. This marketable. It's time to get it together. Means get it all together, pull it all back in again. Center in yourself. And if you're letting any of the stuff from the past, or you're associating with any group or collective, you're taking on their consciousness. No. When you suffer, you feed the demon of the mind that lives off your pain and suffering. Emotions, feelings, guilt feelings, sorrow, regret, grudges. Look at all that waste. It's a misuse of your divine magic. You see, that's what you want. Can't reconcile all that. Where is it anyway? It's in your mind. It's not here. Be here now. That means follow your heart. Be your authentic self. Be strong in who you are. And flexible. Flow like the water. Tune into nature. Nature teaches us all about this realm and of the spirit behind it. Your divine nature is pure, holy, and divine. You're innocent. You're free.